Tired of the rigidity of Scrum but overwhelmed by the openness of Kanban? Discover how Scrumban strikes the perfect balance to help your team thrive in a fast-changing world. The best of both Agile worlds. In the fast-paced world of software development and project management, teams are constantly seeking frameworks that offer both structure and flexibility. Rigid processes can slow innovation, but too much freedom can lead to chaos. What if there was a methodology that delivered the best of both? One that combined the discipline of Scrum with the flexibility of Kanban, balancing planning with flow and sprints with adaptability. Enter Scrumban, a hybrid Agile methodology born out of the need for real-world responsiveness. Scrumban is gaining popularity among modern teams because it's not just a compromise, but an evolution. It adapts to how teams work in practice, where customer demands change quickly, priorities shift overnight, and the pressure to deliver never lets up. If your team finds Scrum too rigid and Kanban too open-ended, Scrumban might just be your perfect middle ground. What is Scrumban? Scrumban is an Agile framework that combines the structured planning and roles of Scrum with the continuous flow and visual task management of Kanban. Originally introduced as a transitional method for Scrum teams adopting Kanban practices, Scrumban quickly proved useful as a standalone approach. Unlike traditional Scrum, which uses strict 2-week sprints and ceremonies, Scrumban allows teams to plan work as needed, based on capacity and demand. At the same time, it retains the visual workflow and pull-based system of Kanban, making it easier to manage work in progress, WIP, visualize bottlenecks, and continuously improve the process. This hybrid model empowers teams to respond to change more fluidly while maintaining enough structure to plan and deliver results efficiently. Core principles of Scrumban. Understanding Scrumban requires looking at the foundational principles it inherits from both Scrum and Kanban. 1. Visualize the workflow. At the heart of Scrumban lies a visual task board, often similar to Kanban. This board breaks the process into columns such as to do, in progress, review, and done. Each task or story is represented as a card, making it easy for the entire team to see what's being worked on, what's up next, and where any bottlenecks might exist. 2. Limit work in progress, WIP. Scrumban enforces limits on how many tasks can be in progress at once. This prevents team members from multitasking inefficiently and ensures that the focus remains on completing tasks rather than just starting them. By limiting WIP, teams naturally identify constraints in their workflow and improve efficiency. 3. Use a pull system. Unlike Scrum's push-based sprint assignments, Scrumban allows team members to pull new work when they are ready. Once a task is completed, the team member pulls the next task from the ready column, provided the WIP limit allows it. This enables a more natural, continuous flow of work that aligns with real-world team dynamics. 4. Plan on demand. Instead of fixed sprint planning meetings, Scrumban introduces trigger-based planning. When the number of tasks in the ready column drops below a certain threshold, a planning session is held to refill it. This allows teams to respond dynamically to changing priorities without the constraints of sprint cycles. 5. Embrace continuous improvement. Retrospectives and process evaluations remain a key part of Scrumban. Teams reflect on what's working and what's not and make small iterative changes to improve productivity and collaboration. How Scrumban works in practice. A Scrumban workflow typically starts with setting up a Kanban-style board. Tasks are created and moved through stages from ideation to completion. Here's how it unfolds. Initial setup. The board is configured to reflect your team's actual process steps. Each card, task or user story moves through columns representing stages of work. WIP limits. Each column has a limit on how many tasks it can contain at once. These limits ensure that tasks don't pile up in any one stage and help identify bottlenecks quickly. Pulling tasks. Team members move cards only when there is capacity. This reduces context switching and fosters ownership and accountability. Planning triggers. When the queue of ready tasks gets low, the team gathers to select and prepare new work items. This, just-in-time planning ensures that the work always aligns with current priorities. Review and retrospective. Periodically, teams hold retrospective meetings to discuss what's going well, what can be improved, and what new practices or tools might help. Team roles in Scrumban doesn't impose rigid roles like Scrum does, but many teams still choose to retain useful roles such as product owner, maintains the backlog, prioritizes work, and ensures that tasks align with business value. Team members collaborate cross-functionally, pull tasks from the board, and self-manage their work. Agile coach or facilitator supports the team by guiding Agile practices and removing obstacles. The lack of strict role definitions can empower teams, but it also requires a high level of communication and maturity to ensure accountability. Benefits of using Scrumban offers a unique blend of advantages that appeal to many teams, especially those in dynamic or unpredictable environments. Greater flexibility. Teams aren't bound by rigid sprint boundaries and can adapt to changing priorities with ease. Visual clarity. A constantly updated task board provides transparency into project status, helping managers and stakeholders stay informed. Focus on flow. WIP limits and pull-based work encourage smooth, steady progress rather than sprint-based rushes. Efficient planning. Demand-driven planning sessions reduce wasted time and ensure that planning occurs only when needed. Improved responsiveness. It's easier to accommodate urgent tasks or bugs without disrupting a sprint. Ideal for maintenance and support teams. Scrumban is particularly well suited to teams that handle both planned features and unpredictable support issues. Common challenges of Scrumban. While Scrumban is incredibly flexible, it also brings its own set of challenges that teams must navigate. Lack of predictability. Without fixed sprints, it may be harder to estimate future capacity or delivery dates. Role ambiguity. Without defined roles, some teams may struggle with accountability or decision-making. Requires self-discipline. Since Scrumban lacks built-in ceremonies and deadlines, it demands a high level of responsibility and initiative from team members. Risk of scope creep. Continuous work intake can lead to projects expanding without boundaries unless the backlog is well managed. These challenges are not deal-breakers, but they do require thoughtful management and a mature team culture. When should you use Scrumban? Scrumban shines in scenarios where flexibility and continuous delivery are more important than strict sprint planning. It's a great choice when your team frequently handles urgent or unplanned work. You're in a fast-paced product or support environment. Your current Scrum practice feels too rigid, but you still need some structure. You want to transition gradually from Scrum to Kanban. You prefer leaner planning and fewer ceremonies. From startups iterating quickly on product features to large teams managing complex support operations, Scrumban fits a wide range of contexts. Conclusion. Why Scrumban matters today. In today's ever-evolving work environment, adaptability is power. Rigid methods that once delivered results may now hinder innovation. Scrumban offers a modern, pragmatic approach that respects Agile values while freeing teams from unnecessary constraints. It brings balance between planning and reacting, between discipline and freedom, between pushing and pulling. For teams that need to respond to rapid change without sacrificing clarity and control, Scrumban provides a framework that grows with them, not against them. Whether you're evolving your Agile practice, improving your workflows, or looking for a better way to manage changing priorities, Scrumban might just be the answer.